I've worked in water for 8 years, and I worked as a reporter. And as a reporter for 20 years, I used to get very worn out by only reporting on the bad news. And I once had a bit of a battle with my chief of staff and said, you know what, we talked about that awful problem of the homelessness, but I want this week to report on the amazing solutions we've got. And he said, Fiona, how often do I have to tell you, good news isn't sexy? And I said, you know what, I promise one day we're going to make good news very sexy. We have to, because we're disempowering people. People watch the news at night and then go to bed feeling like Armageddon's coming. But really and truly, that's only about 2% of our population. Any change in history has usually started with individuals. And then because of this, just as we saw with Nelson Mandela, he's a prime example, one man who took a stand and he mobilised the whole nation to move into transition peacefully. Well, we're all facing that now, because not just one nation, but as a collective, if we're to believe what we hear in conferences that perhaps you don't hear, it's really scary. So we actually are going into transition whether we like it or not, but the transition is the most wonderful opportunity to move into a place where we're kinder to each other, where we can reconnect as communities. And what we've discovered in the 11 years of running the call to action in cities such as Australia, we ran 2 quests there, in Switzerland, in Canton Vaud, and in Lausanne, and in Hong Kong, where the Secretary of State said to me on the day we launched, he looked at me and he said, Fiona, you know what, you've picked a diabolical day. This is the beginning of the summer holidays, and I can tell you we've spent millions of dollars trying to reach the public and no one's interested. I went, oh really? And he said, so if you get, in the next 8 weeks of call to action through the media, 20 nominations, that's great success. Well, at the end of the 8 weeks, we had 249 nominations, and we were all thrilled and surprised. There is, at all levels of government, business, organisations and individuals, there's extraordinary knowledge and wisdom. And the unsung heroes are there. Yes. What I really want to say is there's a wonderful quote that resonated for me. The last great expedition on earth is to survive on earth. The future heroes and heroines are going to be the everyday people who make the changes. And that's indeed what we found. We cannot, as Crispin said, look to the leaders, because they're being swept away by all sorts of things, and it's going to come from us. So what we do, in essence, I won't go into all the detail, because at the call to action, we'll invite you all to that. A bit later this year, we'll do the call to action with Sir Crispin and other people for the whole city of London. But we invite, through the media, the community to start looking for outstanding solutions. Someone in your community, in your business, in your government, or in your school, wherever it is, to look around, wake up, and notice what might be inspiring you. Basically, there are thousands of answers, and we're very excited because London is a very awake city, and there's a lot of quiet community bubbling and activity going on. And there is also a lot of tension here. And until we begin to discover the light, the pathfinders, if you look at our logo, we're looking to the light, not to the darkness. Our foundation never shames or embarrasses anyone. The purpose of this program is to find solutions, to empower them. And very importantly, we have a process whereby on the discovery and the evaluation of world-class people, we have another mechanism of embedding this into green jobs for that city. It's a very important aspect of our program, because when identifying the Earth Champions, they have been chosen by that very city. It is their team, just like their Olympic team or their football team. That particular team are something that community is proud of, they're happy to work with. It's appropriate local technology, or it's appropriate best practice. There are so many solutions I can't begin to tell you, but that's what we pond into the knowledge pond that's there for free for everyone to share. The Granite Conference is the most exciting conference I've ever been to. It's the bringing together of people with extraordinary talent
and a diversity of training. And it seems to have found one focal point towards the environment and the rethinking of our old paradigm and the way in which we're going to approach the problems in the next century. It's very exciting. ECHO has evolved to galvanize all of the community into some sort of positive action, and through the media we can educate, even through programs like Neighbours or through the ABC News, making people aware of what they're doing in a local way so that on a national level we can change the perspective.